Hey everyone, Aussie Viking here. I have to say, I really love Dawn of War 3. I just finished it then, about 20 minutes ago, and I got my thoughts to say. First and foremost, I've played the first one, and I played the second one. I've got both games, and I love them, right? First one was great for an RTS. I really liked how different it was to other RTSs at the time, like StarCraft and all that, and I just love the world. And then the second one I liked because it was very Dota-ish, kind of like a old school forward head, just shooting things and killing stuff, right? Awesome. And then you get to the third one, which brings the best elements of number 1 and number 2. You can build your armies. You've still got that somewhat customizable character that you can level up and have skins and stuff like that. You can't put weapons on them, unfortunately, but for what they've done, it's not too bad. It's somewhat balanced. It's also rather interesting how before a mission, you got these little cards you can buy, which you can put 3 in a match. You can be like, people get healed if they get scrap, or you've got more health for your vehicles and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because you can add a lot of depth to the game with just these. Or you can only use 3, which is a bit of a downside, but it does make you a bit more learning to go through every single one and see which one works for you. But that's still really, really interesting. So that's cool. And there isn't really much to say how bad, if it is bad. I really actually liked it. Now, a lot of fans and Warhammer fans are a bit iffy on the game for a number of reasons. I don't really understand why, but I'm not the biggest Warhammer 40k fan. I like Warhammer 40k, I'm getting into it, but I'm not the lore master that understands every little reference, Oh, there's Godbringer thing, hammer. That's cool. That's kind of really, really cool. He can swing a god hammer. You shouldn't be able to swing that god hammer. I'm not that sort of guy that just knows all that lore. But from what I got, I liked it. It's a simple story, if we look at the story-wise. But it's really cool, and I really liked at the end how everyone has to work together, sort of. And I really like that. I do wonder if anybody's ever gone, so why do we fight in this universe, Because they fight a lot, the war and all that. So, who knows? Maybe they do. But the overall story is they go to the planet, they fight on the planet, there's something on the planet that they want, and shit hits the fan, basically. It's really cool, and I've always loved the orcs, the Eldars, and the humans. The only downside is, it's basically been them in all the other games. First game had them, second game had them, third game has them. Now, obviously, first and second expanded upon other factions because of its expansion packs, so we'll probably have the same here. But it's coming a bit like, oh, here we go again, the same 3 people. But it's still awesome to build your army up, have these giant, like, godly mech, giant things coming around and kicking ass. That is cool for each faction. I really like that. Since I'm not the biggest lore nerd, I have no idea what they are. They're basically epic units, which is cool. And you have to gain power to do it, because it is different. So instead of building them like you would in any other game, you get these points up, which you can then click on them and have them teleport in, and then bam, you're good to go. But that usually happens, you usually get enough points for that if you were, say, play on in skirmish modes or stuff like that. Very near end game, which makes sense, right? Because if you started off with them, you kick their ass. So there's that. Now, story took me about 15 to 16 hours on normal. Although, to be truthful, I'm not the best at RTSs. I like them, but I'm not the master of them. But still, that's pretty damn good. And overall, I like the story. I want to see what comes next. And yeah, it's a good war, powerful, like, break and kill everything. So I really enjoyed it. And then you got skirmish mode, multiplayer. I haven't really played multiplayer. I'm not good at multiplayer with RTSs. I usually get wrecked. I did play skirmish. It's basically like it is in the main game. You got to find the things you got to put down when you can put your banner down. It's like, oh, here we go. And you find them, you get resources from them, and then there's a timer during the game where you get more you get like tiers. So the tiers get unlocked, and then it's basically that, and then you still make your own base and you attack the other bases and stuff. But yeah, it's slightly different from most other RTSs, just slightly. But overall, I cannot say much bad about it. The only downside I think I do have is, first of all, levels can take up to an hour plus. That's kind of annoying if you want a quick game. or to do a quick level. And even when you get like full max upgrades for your basically points where you can spend like your resources. Basically, when you get your resources up to fully upgraded, and you keep getting more resources, you don't get much. You know, like you don't get so much that you can still make some big ass strong warriors to go out and kick ass. Now, I kind of get it because of the fact that you can basically have unlimited heroes, because once you can spawn your hero in, and if it dies, you've got a cooldown. Once that cooldown is done, bam, you bring the hero back in. So I sort of get it. So you're not totally OP'd. You know, so you've got all those heroes on the field, and then you've got like the epic tier buildable vehicles and stuff. So I kind of get it, but it's still a bit like, it still takes a while to get there. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It's not too bad, and I'm really excited to see what they do next with the expansion packs, because the number 2, the expansion packs did add quite a bit to the game. I haven't actually gotten up to the expansion packs in number 1. I'm still playing number 1. Played all the 2. Now I played 3. I did play number 1 a bit, but yeah, I'm still trying to finish number 1. But I liked it. And like the other Dawn of War games, this does leave it open for another expansion with a certain credit sequence after the ending credits. So keep your eye out for that. It's really interesting, and I cannot wait to see where they go from here. But yeah. Another great thing about Dawn of War 3 is it's not as finicky as other RTSs like, say, StarCraft, where you got to click on this, click on that, go to this. It's all in one menu. So if you click on one person, you can go to your left side and click on each menu of all the buildings you have and stuff like that. It's really helpful, and it really adds depth to the game. It's not the most in-depth game, I guess you could say, like StarCraft 2, but it does make things easier. And if it's your first time playing an RTS, this is actually a quite good game to actually jump in on because of how easy and intuitive the menus are. I do want more Warhammer 40k games that are good. I kind of want another third-person Space Marine game because that was awesome. But yeah, overall, I liked it. If you're a fan of RTSs, or you want to get into a very violent, war-torn universe, go for it. Dawn of War is great. Should you get number 1 and 2 first? It depends. Like, number 3, there are moments from number 1 and 2 that you're like, oh, okay, I understand this is what happened here, and some of the characters from number 2 and number 1 are in it, but overall you can kind of just get it. The whole big war, there's 3 main guys and stuff like that, and yeah, you can kind of understand the story without much deterrence of 1 and 2. But yeah, that's what I had to say. Really like the game. Aussie Viking out. See you in Valhalla. Bye.